Episode 14. More psychics? Hello, everybody. Here we are again. Welcome to a journey through the Dreamscape with me, Angelina Young. So, how's it going? How's everything been? It has been hot as heck here. It has been insanely hot. I don't love it. I can't wait for it to be winter again. Actually, I can't wait for it to get to Halloween time. In the fall is when I'm the happiest because then I know winter's just around the corner and things are cooling off and I get to wear my nice long coats, boots, scarves, and it just feels cozy. But on the bright side, you know what has been happening? There has been these two little mourning doves, a little couple, showing up at my window almost every single day for the past couple weeks. And I look forward to seeing them. And you know what? They have been showing up and they'll just sit right out of my window and look into my apartment. And it makes me so happy. Today, I was just telling David, I asked him, because he was at work, I texted him, I was like, hey, what if I cut a hole into the little accordion part of the AC so I can go feed them? He said, absolutely not. But they are so beautiful, and I definitely take them as a sign because they keep showing up right outside my window, just sitting there. They see me, they see us, and they just chill there. They just like to show up. And yeah, I searched up what mourning doves mean, and it's good. It's happiness, it's new beginnings, it's love and hope, all of these good things. Definitely feeling that. And you know what? Right as I was about to record this intro, I noticed one of the cards on my wall fell down in my recording room. So the wall right where I'm recording at, this entire wall is full of cards that David and I have wrote each other through the years, and there's little Polaroids and stuff. Well, this one card fell down, right? And I just opened it, and okay, on the front, this is cute. He had wrote this, I don't even know when, a few years ago. But on the outside, it's the little cactus, and it says, "We're so good together." And on the inside, he drew two little birds together, and he put an A on one and a D on the other one. And it's so cute. He put them on a little tree branch. He drew them there. And he wrote this entire cute little thing there. And I don't know, I feel like it fell on purpose. This one with the birds, and it looks just like the birds that are sitting outside the window. So I think that's really cute and such a little, I don't know, cute little synchronicity. It just feels very loving, very nice. Feels like it's gonna be a good summer. Also, with a good summer, guess what? We have had, well, not yet, you guys aren't listening to it just yet, but I've had a lot of people sign up to be guests on the podcast, so this is very exciting. That will be coming out in the next few weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna try to space them out a little bit, so I don't know, be prepared for all these different perspectives on dreams, supernatural occurrences, philosophies, very, very different views, very different people from different walks of life. So interesting, so exciting. I hope you guys are prepared for that. And on top of that, I cannot wait for the 29th because I will be doing another event, and this one's pretty exciting. This one is called Crystals and Cocktails, and it's going to be held at Blank Studios in New Jersey, and there will be crystal mirror making and cocktails, mocktails, and you know what else? I will be doing one-on-one dream readings in person. This is crazy. This is a beginning of something new. I can't wait to see how this goes. I am excited. I will have my dream journals there. I don't know, and a whole bunch of other surprises. So this is going to be a cute little get together and an opening for what the future holds. So looking forward to that. Also, I have new jewelry that I've been making, and some new little crafts that will be up on my website very, very soon. I'm so excited. Necklaces made of seashells, beaded necklaces, beaded earrings, some very cute and cool stuff that will be worth your while to check out. Definitely check that out. And what else? Well, today is the second part of the psychic experience episode with Sarah Joseph. So, yeah, this is like the next couple psychics that we went to. What happened, our experiences. If you didn't hear the last one, you should go check that out right now so it makes a little bit more sense. But how mystical. Let's just jump right into that.
Yeah, you can hear me okay. She's just doing the cards right now. Let me fast forward.
Sort of, kind of. I'm just going through a lot of changes right now. I don't have any relationships with him. No. No relationship. No. Who's the man? There's no man. It's showing there's a man.
She said, "Who's the man?"
I'm crying.
I know I've been single my whole life.
Wait, can you pause real quick? Can we like speed up by
Yeah,
that?
should we? Okay.
Guys, you guys aren't gonna be able to hear this like little dialogue that the recording because
Yeah, the
one, you
recording
can't
is.
really hear it that well.
Mhm.
But Sarah went in first, like we said, and it's making me giggle and chuckle like hearing it. She started off. Sarah did not get to go in with me. I did not get to go in with Sarah. Like this lady, the best way to describe her that she reminds me of, whether you want to believe it or not, in Animal Crossing, the little like psychic lady. Literally,
So
she
funny.
looked.
That is so funny.
She looked. What's her name? Katrina.
I
She
don't know.
looked.
It's so
She
funny.
made the same face as Katrina from Animal Crossing. I am not joking. Like it was just like a stereotype. She would take your money and run. This lady, when we walked in, it was highly religious, by the way, which comes out through the reading. But Sarah goes in first. Didn't hear my reading. When I went in, this lady started off with, "You're gonna have a long and healthy life, and you will live good." And
You're kind, and you're kinder than other people are to you.
yeah, it was pretty generic. Sarah was freaking out when we got in the car. Sarah's like, "Oh my God, this was so bad." She played it in her car before we even pulled out, right?
Yeah.
We had to process this. And I started laughing before it even got to what Sarah was freaking out about because, and I wasn't going to say it right there. I was like, "I'll tell you after." Sarah was like, "What's so funny?" And I was just like, "Don't worry about it." She started off the entire first few sentences the exact same with the long, healthy life, like you're kind, other people mistake that. And she also said, "Who are these three men
Then
that are staring at you?"
who's the man? And I was like, I don't know, I'm single. And she's like, okay, well then who's the man? And I was like, I don't know.
And when it was my reading, I remember her long, skinny finger pointing at the card and pointing up at me, giving me that Katrina look, and was like, "They're looking at you, and you're not looking back. Why are you not paying attention? Like, it's not just one, it's three." And she like taps the cards, and I was like, my man is who knows where. You're silly." And she's crying question. Listening to this recording with Sarah, she's like, "But do you have family relations?" And Sarah's like, "No." That's one, how you know they're not real, but like in the moment, you might overlook that unless you have it recorded and you go with someone. And for mine, obviously there was a man. So she's like, "Oh no, he's garbage." She legit was like, "No, he's trash." Throw him to the side. You could do so much better. Like she
At
was
this point, I'm like, fuck yeah, like you got it, girl.
she was so nice to me, but like ours took different turns for different reasons. So like I said, started off the same, but obviously this woman's paying attention to body language. She's building stereotypes. She takes time to shuffle the cards, but she's also asking questions, right? She's obviously done this for years. She's trying to find out as much information as possible. Some of the
So
advice would probably not be good for like everyone, but
I was like trying not to give her too much, and she was asking a lot of questions. She's like, "Are you working? What do you do? Is there a man? What have you done?"
No, mainly with like production work, like events and live music and theater. Theater. No beer. What? No beer. Like music, live
She
events.
said she said music and beer. I said theater.
Why did she get stuff on you so much?
But I'm also interested in doing like makeup. And so that's something that I'm also, confused about the change with. Mm.
You can do it all.
Don't be confused. You can do it all.
I don't know, finding my footing.
Sweetheart, you're meant to be very, 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 very successful. Okay?
You hear that? She said, "Sweetheart, you're meant to be very, very, very successful."
Wait, can you pause? Do you want to talk about her prying these questions out of you about the guy and the work?
Yeah. So she's out here like, "Who is this man?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Are you single?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Do you want to be single?" No. Like she says no before I even respond. And she goes, "So what's stopping you? There's a man looking at you." And I was like, "Is that what the cards are saying?" Like I'm being so, I'm like, "Uh-huh." And she's like, "Okay, what do you do for work?" Like she could tell that I was like getting annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "I work in production and live events and music and theater." And she goes, "Music and beer?" I'm like, "Theater. At theater."
Really? She messed up on Sarah's. I'm so sorry for that. She messed up on Sarah's so much. If you guys can hear this audio, you can literally hear Sarah getting like more irritated because this woman is getting irritated at Sarah, and it's just
Because
like,
I'm like not letting her, like I'm not calling her out. I'm just like not putting up with her bullshit.
and like this lady is like trying her most to like pull up like, well, there has to be some guy. Like what is going on in your life that's so wrong? Sarah's also like, oh, well, I want to do makeup too eventually. And Sarah's like, I'm just like a little confused. And then the lady says,
She's like, "What's stopping you? You could do it all. You're meant to be very, very successful, sweetheart."
and I was like, that's so silly.
Oh, so she said, "You have the creativity, you have the gift of God." Foreshadowing. She said, "When it comes to love, not so much good luck there." Like, yeah, we just said I was single.
Nationality, wow.
Sorry?
Your nationality.
I'm Jewish. I'm Ashkenazi Jewish.
So she said, "Your mother and father stay together?" I said, "Yes." She said, "What nationality are you?" I said, "I'm American and I'm Ashkenazi Jewish."
And she went Ashkenazi.
She's like, "Hum, huda buda bubba."
And they're all the same. Like,
Yeah, here, I'll keep going.
I don't know what the difference is. Ashkenazi.
It's European.
She says, "I don't know what Ashkenazi is."
which I think is literally hilarious that she is doing this reading. She took that and she was just like, well, man, aren't they all the same? You're Jewish. Like,
Yeah, she's like, "I don't know what that is." I was just like, "It's just like you're from Europe versus Spain. Like it's not that deep." So she's silent for a while. And then she says, "Your mother and father are still together, but I'm feeling now this negative energy from your house life." And this is where we start going downhill.
which, by the way, this is like going into what Sarah was freaking out about. When I tell you, when Sarah came out, she gave me a face. She was like, that was horrible. Like, this was disgusting. And I was like, oh no, still having to go in, right? I'm like, okay. And I can't ask because this woman is at the door saying, okay, it's your turn. You can come in. I'm like, okay.
I definitely didn't say disgusting.
But no, that was your face. Your face
I
was
mean, I probably definitely look disgusted.
Your face was just
I was like, "Good luck."
yeah.
So I guess at this point, I'm just sort of whatever. I'm just giving the people like I'm like, sure, I'll just yes her at this point. So I'm like, she's like, are you feeling a dark energy? I was like, sure, mm-hmm.
Also, you left out, you started turning your body.
Yeah, I definitely my body language was this is clearly fake. This is annoying. Why is she acting like this?
Mm-hmm.
She's fishing. and I wasn't agreeing with what she was saying, especially after talking to Peaches.
Yeah.
I think if we went to this first, I may have been like okay. But like I was like, really?
Okay,
She's
whoa. I gotta just say, listeners, I'm sorry. We're listening to this, pausing and replaying so we can kind of get the feel again. So this might not be so cohesive in sentences. But I just gotta say, listening back to this, man, she asked so many questions.
so
It was not even, it was like back and forth. Like, I'm having a conversation with Sarah right now. Questions. Like, it wasn't just, okay, like I'm picking up on this, and here's this, here's this. Does this make sense? Yeah, okay. No, it was where
just question.
if you had not been to a psychic or like you were nervous, it's something you'd easily overlook if you didn't record it. I would say it's not even helpful for whoever's getting this reading.
So I guess something that I want to say is even if I don't believe in the psychicness of something, I still think that getting your cards read and doing this whole activity is a great mindful activity, and it makes you think of your life as a prompt that you wouldn't normally think about it, and it's very therapeutic. This was none of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Me being like, I believe in this like fully, and you being like, I'm skeptical, even no matter what side you're on, like this, if you were in Sarah's place in this and you were just like not agreeing, it is not even helpful. Like this took such a crazy turn for Sarah.
If I didn't go to Peaches before this, I would have been like, see, I told you so. Like, everything is fake.
Yeah, and Sarah would have probably never done this again.
Never. She said, your stomach or your back hurts you.
I gotta just say, wait,
And I just cackled.
pause. I I gotta just say, guys, this is where Sarah's took a turn. I am screaming at this still to this day. This will always be a
I
joke. This lady could not read Sarah because Sarah was not giving her anything. Just like, no. Because like Sarah was like, this is bullshit, like in her head. And rightfully so. And this lady's like, why did you come to me today? Like, what do you want to know? And Sarah's like, huh? And says,
I don't know. There's a lot of changes going in my life, and I'm just like, you know, in the very like becoming an adult stage, and I'm just trying to figure out how to move forward.
which is wild to me because you literally, even though you did not believe her, I just feel like this is you poking fun with her. You said, do you have any advice? Like any
No, I absolutely was making fun of her. I was like, do you have any guidance?
And what does she say to you? She says, your stomach or your back hurts.
She looks at me and she says something about like there's a smile on my face, but there's something deeper within. Because I'm laughing at her. That's why there was a smile on my face, because I was like, Like I was smiling and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm on my inside. And then she stops and she goes, your stomach or your back hurts you. And I literally just cackle. I'm like, what? Like, yeah, obviously. Someone's stomach or their back is always probably hurting them.
But this woman did not find it funny that Sarah found it funny. She's like, no, like this is serious stuff.
She's like, this is really serious.
And you're taking this as a joke. She's like, you literally are infested with negative energy.
Oh, yeah. This is when it gets good.
I'm sorry, that's so funny. Yes, you all the above.
I'm like, yeah, huh? She said, there's all this negative energy. Do you have faith or believe in God? And I hesitated. I was like, and she goes, you're Jewish? And I was like,
She says, well, does that mean you believe in God? Or like, no, like I'm kind of confused.
I was like, both. That was me being like, I know she had already said the statement, my creativity is God's gift. And she had already made a comment about me being Jewish. And then she was like, do you believe in God? And I was like, that's a loaded question to be asking at a tarot reading. I was like, that's crazy. You just asked me if I lived by the water. And so I sort of was like very taken back, and I was like, because like, no, I don't. And then she just like very judgmentally goes, you're Jewish. And I don't know if she meant it as like well, Jewish people believe in God. I was like, you asked me what my nationality was, my ethnicity. not my religion. Like, huh? She said, you're Jewish, so you believe in God, but not Jesus.
I'm just skeptical of all of that. I say that I'm more culturally Jewish than religiously. I'm more spiritual, but a little more skeptical.
Man, she just pried into you your whole reading. She's just like, how do you not believe in Jesus? Like, she's like, you scumbag. Like, you don't see the way.
Have you ever used crystals?
I have this.
So bluntly, she goes, have you ever used crystals? She said, do you want my help or not? Basically. And I was like, she was
No,
like,
wait. Didn't she like say when you
we're getting there, we're getting there.
No, we have to talk about it now.
No, we need to hear
Sarah,
exactly what she
Sarah,
says.
have you ever used crystals?
Have you ever used crystals? And I was like, not really. She's like, do you want my help?
Or
And I was
not?
like,
And you
I
said, well,
said,
I asked for
I
a
said,
crystal girl, and
what,
she's
I
like,
said, what kind of crystal would you recommend?
she said, oh, that's not gonna help you. Forget about the crystals.
She's like, actually, fuck the crystals. You need way more help than that.
She said, your negative energy is way too much. Like, the crystals aren't gonna help you. I have what can help you.
And it's Jesus. She said, what's surrounding you is not about the crystal. I said, is there someone who rubbed you with a jealous hand
In your past life?
at
Like,
birth?
this is just jumping everywhere. Like, she's like, crystals, you have too much negative energy. She's like, let's see where it's from. Past life, like someone rubbed their hand on you and they gave you this fucking evil eye. She was like, oh no. Honestly, this woman is like thinking in her head, how much am I gonna charge you? She's like flipping through the book. It's like, okay, if I give her, I know I told her fuck the crystals, but like if I give you like a
She's like,
candle,
oh no, wait, shit. She's like, I already said to fuck the crystals. No, like,
I'm
I
gonna
can't
give
tell
you
those now.
crystal too, but like I gotta teach you it, and that's my time, and we have to go to church.
So I guess like we'll listen to the next part, but basically what she says next is that if she wants my help to find the issue in my past life, she will have me purchase candles, and then she will take those candles to church and pray for me. I was like, okay, uh-huh, I'm good.
After Sarah just said one, she's Jewish, and two, more of a cultural thing and not a
Like, I don't
religion.
believe in God. And she was like, wrong answer. That's why you're negative.
And that's why your back hurts, and that's why you got rubbed by a hand in a past life.
Not the hand. I can't.
I like to do the 24-hour, 48-hour meditation.
24-hour, 48-hour meditation
For you to do?
for her to do. For me.
Oh.
3 candles.
I just gotta ask, do you think she would have actually went to the church for 48 hours and
No!
with 3 candles?
Not a shot. Not a shot in hell would she have gone to the church with 3 candles for
She was
48 hours and prayed for
not.
me.
She was like, you're not right. I don't know why you're not agreeing with me. I'm gonna say I pray for you, but like,
I'm not. She's like, you're way too fast that.
God put you here,
God put me here.
right here on this. You're over here. You're lost. So you don't know which way you're going.
I'm lost.
You understand? My work is 300. You know what's the hard part?
What?
You gotta come see me once a week.
I forgot about this. She legit told you you gotta see her once a week.
She said, my work is $300. Do you want to know the hardest part? You have to see me once a week. And if you have to see me twice a week, you have to see me twice a week.
I'm crying.
But
What?
God put you in this world to be with me.
Listeners, you don't know
Thing,
how funny
huh?
I find this. Oh my gosh. Imagine, guys, imagine this being you and you're like sitting in this is your first psychic ever. Thank goodness this is not Sarah's first psychic. But like She says, "You're so like I can't fix you, but like I could for $300, but like
Each
you have to
session,
see me and I have to
twice a week, $300 twice a week.
24 to 48 hours praying for you." But yeah, it's gonna be like a hard time. Like
She's like, but yeah.
What crystal you need?
And then she's gonna tell me what crystal I need, even though she said it's not about the crystals.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, we need to drink more water, drink more water. Give me little things, but these things that
Drink more water.
told you to drink more water. What? She told you to live by the water. She told you to drink it too. She said you're dry. Sarah, she was saying you're dry. You
And
have
I'm crusty.
that you need. It's like SpongeBob, Patrick when they're in Sandy's dome, they're like, water.
So funny. And I just feel like she's gone back and forth for almost everything she says. But I think my favorite part about her reading is that after every sentence, she asks me a question and then she basically says exactly what I say back to her. And she goes, "Do you understand? Do you understand?" Every 5 seconds, she says, "Do you understand?" So then if I say no, she can pivot.
Yeah, I came in here today with like fresh and knowing that I had a lot of mental and physical health issues, and yeah.
You're far from crazy.
Not you. I feel like I want to keep that. Not you saying I came here today. Literally another SpongeBob scene when he's like getting the promotion. He thought he was gonna get up. He's like, I want to thank Mr. Krabs. I came here today. And then it's like not his promotion. That was you. You're like, I
was
came
me.
here today with my emotions, my energy high. And after this, I hate it. I
Like,
totally,
actually, I gotta go.
yeah.
Okay, so this is the end. She said, "Do you want me to help you or not?" I said, yeah, I don't know. I am moving, so money's a little tight right now. It's a lot. She goes, 300 is nothing for your life, sweetheart.
It's tight right now, and obviously it was like
300 is nothing for your life.
And I was like, I need to go.
She was like, your energy's so bad. Like, why do you not want me to clean it up? If I were you, I'd pay me.
I don't know why.
You don't have enough confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
Less of yourself.
She says, I don't have confidence in myself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you what Christmas you use, but not. You just don't want to use it.
Yeah,
You understand?
I do.
Let me check with my grandson.
Oh, okay. So that's when it ends. She says, I'll tell you what crystals, what not to use again. And I'm like, uh-huh. And then she's walking in circles. She says, I have low confidence and that's my issue and that I'm holding myself back. And she's like, you know what? Let me go check on my grandson. He's sleeping. And she just gets up and walks away.
She walks away, but then she like you exit. I'm like chilling outside by the way through this, not having a phone. I was like, oh shit, Sarah has my phone. No. Kicking my feet out there on the bench. I'm like, well, I wonder how it's going in there. Sarah's like
I walk out traumatized.
yeah, she makes a face like I said. Trina like stands at the door and she's like, now it is your turn. No, she doesn't sound like that. I was like,
No,
okay.
she's got a really strong Jersey accent. Sweetheart.
I have my I have my 20 ready to go, right? I was just like, oh, here you go. Not knowing what to expect. She shuffles the cards. She says hi. I'm like, hello, miss. She's like shuffling. She goes, same beginning, like I said earlier, all of that, but she stems off. So like on Sarah's, they got into Jewish talk and then is her parent good? No, since like the guy thing, she just went from David, she went throw him in the trash. He's trash. Like you could do so much better. Like you are a confident, strong woman. You stick out. And I was like, okay, cool, pop off. Thank you.
But because I didn't have any men, I was unconfident, just so you know.
And she's like giving me compliments here, and I'm taking it because I'm like, you know what, whatever. But for mine, she was just like, yeah, like you're gonna do so good. What do you do? Writing? Like, yeah, I could see that. Like you are artistic, which yeah, my hair is colorful. You could probably snip that off me. Like looking at me and being like, yeah. Love life, you're gonna do so good. They're all looking at you. You're like, you're great. You have a lovely energy. You're living your life. I don't see any health problem. You're gonna have a healthy life. Your family, where are they? And I said they're in California. She's like, oh, so they're far. I see them being far. And I was like, well, yeah, because like I just
I just told you.
and your dad, it was like, I'm not even close to my dad and this girl. And she's like, oh, must be like another part of this. Well, he's in there. He's coming up.
He's one of the three guys looking at you.
Ew. Anyways,
He said that's what she said to you.
literally the whole time was just compliments. Instead of offering me more to pay at the end, like she did to Sarah, she was like, no, like you're literally doing so fine. You hit the world, go do your shit, girl. And I was like, cool, here's $20. But like me and her got along pretty well. Even though I knew she was shitting me the whole time, like we got along. I'm gonna give you like $3 extra because you were just so nice. Because I didn't know how Sarah's went. I was just like, she was so nice. Like this is not legit. You know what? Pop off. She didn't try to spit her religion at me. She didn't even ask me to go to church.
The bare minimum.
She didn't she didn't ask me to get crystals or a candle. She was just like, I hope I see you again, but you're great. You're gonna do good.
I did not know you tipped her.
And then we left. We got in the car. Sarah's like, I need to play this for you. And then that's when I started laughing. I was like, no, this is the same fucking rating. She just switched off. But I think it's so silly. The fact she offered Sarah to go to church is like beyond crazy. By the way, fast forward off of this, we left after Sarah was reassured. She's like, oh my God, do I have negative energy? I was like, no, you do not. This woman, that was not intuition. That was not psychic medium. That was not just a psychic. That was none of that. That was a guessing game back and forth. Like when you play Clue and you're like, okay, so who is the person? She was reading body language and it was really bad that she had to keep asking questions.
Seconds after that, though, this part of the story gets me.
Yeah.
Seconds after that, a bus flew through a red light and we almost got in an accident.
Get
And
up.
I was like, it's the negative energy.
Sarah freaked out. She's hyperventilating.
Like a
Told her
panic
this
attack
guy-
because like it was very scary. Like we almost got in a car accident. Like I had a panic attack over it.
I would have died and
I
I
was
would have not
overwhelmed.
known. I would have died and I would have not known. All of a sudden, this bus just flew out and I was just mouth open, like, huh?
I was like, I need
I
some
was
water.
on my side too, I'm pretty sure. We had to like chill out for a sec. Sarah felt better, but she was like, ah, this negative energy.
It got me, girl. It is so much funnier than I remember it
It
being.
is because you were so caught up in her words. It is so
And
funny.
she got me. She was like, I don't know, you're in a lot of pain. I was like, I am in pain. You're right.
I saw through that so fast. That's why I was laughing the day of. I was like, this is so funny. This is so funny. Imagine the people that go and they're like by themselves and they can't even compare notes and they're like, what just happened? And
But I think it also goes to show that even the people who are the most skeptic, the whole reason that these scam artists work is because they know the things to say to be like, well, maybe. And they ask you enough questions without you realizing, and they get you to say yes or no, and you're not really paying attention. And then they say something that makes sense. And you're like, oh,
but they get your mind
maybe.
confused. They jump to something else because you're like, huh,
They
you're still
switch back
processing
and
this.
forth. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. So you only remember bits and fragments that actually worked. That's why she kept going back.
Yeah, she was moving really quickly.
Yeah. And at the same time, like messing with the cards, like so your mind's like, huh?
Yeah, you're like, she's also pointing at the cards and sticking her little freaky finger in your face.
Oh my gosh. We love Katrina. Anyways, then
Okay.
our last one. Well, for now, because we'll probably go to one together. This is probably gonna be like an annual thing or for fun.
Yeah.
This one was the one just recent, a couple days ago, the other week.
Fair.
Days. I am so confused on the days. At the Lunar Fair. And okay, so Sarah and I were looking around. I know we were thinking the same thing, looking at these people. There was one that we were looking for, but we didn't find them.
We were looking for Peach's mom was supposed to be there. And I was like, hell yes, I want to find Peach's mom.
Well, we don't know if that actually was.
You're right. We were kind of jumping to conclusions. We're like, Peaches lives in Jersey, and this fair is in Jersey, and her mom's name is also this name, so it's definitely her mom.
So yeah.
We didn't even see that person anyway.
Anyways, yeah, because we missed all of the fucking events, and there was like a million psychics, but there was one. There was actually one girl that I did like that we didn't go to, but it wasn't really like a regular reading. It was like that aura thing. She gave us the little flowers.
Oh, yeah.
I actually really liked her. I was like, that's nice. But like, yeah, no, we didn't pick that one. There was this older woman.
Yeah, there was this booth, like we had done a couple laps of the fair at this point just because we were like going back and forth. It was the end of the day. We were like, where was that one thing that we liked? I don't remember. And we're like, should we just do a psychic before the end of the day, like a tarot reading or something? And there was this one booth that like both of us separately were interested in, just like energy wise. She had made eye contact with Angelina earlier and smiled. And for me, she had like a photo of like a place that I had been that I just felt like very like I had felt like a very spiritual connection to.
Mhm.
And like that was her headshot photo was like her on the poster in this place. And I was like, oh, like maybe I'll stop there.
I liked hers a lot. I liked the tapestry she had, but I loved the little cards that were hanging from the top. I just thought her tent looked so
Every tent was
nice.
cute.
She seemed really nice. She seemed gentle. I don't know. Her nature seemed gentle, like
Mhm.
warm.
Approachable.
Yeah. The funny thing is, we signed up, right?
Yep.
David, of course, didn't want to do a reading. David did a reading with Peaches before, which like that's just another talk. He was like, "Yeah, no, I'm just here for the ride. I'm gonna chill." Like this lady,
It's funny. He just like sat on the ground.
yeah, on this like little tapestry blanket things I brought. So at least he had a semi seat. But we had to write our name on our clipboard. Honestly, Sarah and I, because we went towards the end, like there was only like 30 minutes left of this fair. Till like technically when they start tearing down, we were on the hunt for Sarah's bracelet that we forgot which vendor it was from.
Never found it.
Yeah, we didn't find it, but we had to write on the clipboard. We saw all the names, and Sarah's like, "Oh, like, do you even think we're gonna?" And I was like, "I don't know." And I was like, "Sarah, write your name." And Sarah's like, "No, you write your name." And I was like, "Okay." And I wrote my name, and then I was like, "Well, I don't know my new number. You gotta write your number." And she was like, "Huh?" So she wrote her number, and then David's just chilling. He's like, "So what's happening?" I was like, "Well, she's gonna text us when it's our turn, I guess. So we'll just go around." By the way, she was like reading somebody at the moment. So she was busy. She had like a lot of people sign up on her clipboard. Good for her. By the way, it was like $35, right, Sarah? Each?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad. And it was like again, like based on the timing of whatever she gets. So we're going around looking for Sarah's missing bracelet, and we actually got a text. Sarah got a text, and we were like, "What the heck?" Like it was pretty quick.
It was like, your reading is ready. It
in like
was so
10
funny.
minutes, right? 10, 15 minutes. Like it was
Yeah,
not
it was
long.
like less than that. It was like very quick. Like we didn't even get anywhere. Like, we just got far enough where we were like, oh God, we have to run back.
And then we got that, and I was like, "No, no." So we like run all the way back. We get there. And like I'm like, "So you're gonna go up, Sarah?" And Sarah's like, no, you're gonna go up." And I was like, no, 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 you're gonna go up." And Sarah's like, "Well, if I go up, are you gonna go up?" And I was like, "I'll go up after you go up." So Sarah went first. And David sat on the ground. This lady, she has like her cards. She has a whole bunch of cards, by the way. She like picks based on like what she feels is the deck she's gonna use for you, which I love, by the way. And she's like so nice, so calming. She's like, "Yeah, so what's going on? Like, how are you guys? Like, what's up? Like today's been busy. Yeah, this is probably gonna be like the last for me of the night." And we just like got along. I was mostly talking, honestly, during Sarah's reading.
Oh, she asked me if I do reading.
Yeah.
And I said I don't do readings, but Angelina is a dream interpreter. And then they were just like, the two of them got along and they're like, ooh.
She went, that's the lost art, my dear. She's like, I love that. And she's like shuffling the cards, and she tells Sarah, I want you to shuffle these cards. Don't do a dealer shuffle. Like, you're gonna shuffle these cards any other way than that. And then split it into three. And then I shall pull your cards. You'll put them back together, and then I will deal the cards. And we loved that. It was nice.
So the first thing that she pulls, she flips over the middle card and she goes, oh, congrats on focusing better. And I go, huh? I'm like, I'm like, okay, all right, we'll see where this goes. This could either like go like really awesome or really bad right now. I'm someone who has ADHD. I'm working on being coping mechanisms and working on being on proper medication and all of that fun stuff. And I had recently said to my mom, and I was like, oh, like, I think that these new meds are working. I'm feeling great on them. And so when she said that, I was like, like, you're right, I am. But that's a weird thing. I was like, I don't know, could be like a random stab. Pretty generic thing to say. And then she flips over the next two. I got the High Priestess, and she was like, you're the High Priestess. You're hot shit. She was like, this is really cool. It means that there's a lot of power behind your words, and you can easily curse someone if you wanted to, and you believe in karma, and you're very much like, oh, karma will take over. And she was like, does this resonate at all? I sort of like thought it was funny, to be honest. In the beginning, I like, there were thoughts in my head. I was trying to make a connection, like brains will try to make any connection they can. I was like, okay, like we'll see what happens whenever like I don't agree with something. But I was like, I didn't think too much of it at this point. And then the last card she says is like, she's like, something will happen soon. She was like, I don't know, there's something with your family. You're going to get good news soon. I was like, okay, super generic. And then she pulls the Oracle card for me, and it is embrace your night self. And she's like, this means clearly you need to be who you are when you're at home in your PJs, lying in your bed by yourself, and that you're not being true to yourself during the day. And she's like, you're the High Priestess. Like, fuck them up. She didn't say that. But I was like, period. Like, I'm the High Priestess, bitch. And and she was like, no, I'm serious. And I was like, oh, yeah, me too.
But it made sense. Your reading did make sense as she was like going on.
Yeah, the more she was like putting the cards together, she was like putting some pieces together, and she was like, oh, okay, I see how this affects this, affects this, affects this. Immediately, like, I look at Angelina and I was like, oh, that is very similar to a conversation we had recently about
Which I was thinking too, which is crazy. I was
unmasking.
gonna
Yeah,
say.
about like unmasking and being my truer self at work. And she was like, I was just gonna say that. And I was like, yeah, like that's clearly pretty obvious for that.
But
And I was
David
like,
being on the floor over there, he was also thinking about like your room situation. Like
yeah, I was trying to find a new roommate as well.
that is what David said, which all of these things, like they kind of go hand in hand with Sarah not being her true self in these situations, not because she can't be, but just because like it's like, why? Like why? And like the
Yeah.
good news too with like your family, or I think like your mom, I think has to do with that situation. But
Yeah, we'll see. That is yet to come true yet. That was
well,
those
actually,
6 days away.
the person agreed to a trial.
You're right, they did.
So,
Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe that was it. She was like, it wasn't something big, which is why I was like, oh, like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know. Tell me I'm getting something built for me, like a fortune. Am I coming my way? Like peaches. Yeah, so I sort of took away, I was like, okay, it was a lot more neutral. I had a bad experience and I had a great experience. And this one I just felt was very mindful and sort of, exactly that, like made me think about situations in my life, helped me connect some dots. Was it reading she didn't do past, present, future cards. So she was not reading my future, my past, like any of that.
And she made a note about it. She was very transparent about what she was doing. Because when I had my reading done, and I was like, well, what does this go to this? Because I was trying to figure out mine during this. I had an inkling of what she was picking up on, but I kind of like didn't want it to be that. So I was like, and I was like, so then what would this be if this was this? And she's like, no, this is like not a past, present, future. This is like the like situation or the thing that I'm getting, and this is just like how it is currently. And also, she was like, what you get in the moment, like from this person, like energy wise. And that was very much what this lady was doing, which I think is also true to a point. It's not like Katrina who is pulling stuff out of a hat.
And just like sort of building on the her being honest and open, like she even said, I'm not here to tell your future. I'm here to see what the cards are saying and see how your body language reacts to that and to see if you're feeling like it resonates with you. And if not, sometimes the cards are wrong, but they're usually pretty correct.
To shuffle again and deal it again if it really did not resonate, which
She's
was
like,
pretty nice.
sometimes the cards are tired. You're at the end of the night.
Yeah, and she had a whole bunch of decks. She was like, I'm picking the one that really felt like the one for you. If it wasn't and you really say that, then I will do it again and we could just like start from scratch. It was just very nice that she was very, very transparent about that. And also she was just like there to like explain it. She was actually doing what she said. And also, the thing to note if you guys ever go to a psychic is what do they promise you? Like, the only thing most psychics or mediums can promise you is that they will show up, that they will do that because they don't know what information they're going to pick up on. Your guys' energy might not work right together. Have you ever been around somebody that we just like don't get along? You did not work well with somebody. Like imagine them coming up. I mean, they're gonna have to pay you for your time, but like if you literally can't pick up a reading, like you can't just fake that. They can't promise they're gonna always 100% pick up everything from you. If someone's promising, oh, I could tell you your past, present, and future like flawlessly 100%, like I am like 100% guaranteed reading. I have never messed up on a reading in my life. Like, okay, like that's probably not true. This lady was just like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna get. It's not past, present, future. It's like you knew what you were going to get into. That's exactly what she gave Sarah, which I think was very thinning for the situation Sarah's going through currently. And when it got to mine, I remember she picked this very pretty deck. She was like, this one's for you. This one, these cards are calling for you. And I loved them. I remember I got two of the same numbers. It was like sixes. It was swords and pentacles. I thought it was the same number. And then the other one was like the Empress or something like that. When you looked at the card, it looked like the person was being like attacked or like at war with oneself or with others or like their energy. And then the next one was like not really walking away unscarred. Like you kind of got through it, but like you didn't win it. And then like the last one was like you're sitting on a throne. So basically, she was saying what you're going through is not going to go great or awesome. You're not coming out like the winner, the victor, but you are like the Empress. You are the one that wears like the crown. You are the one like doing your stuff. You have the stuff to say. You have the things to teach or to do. Like that is you through all this. But this situation that you're going through is not the answer. Which was very interesting because like Sarah and David are sitting there like, huh? And I'm like, by the way, I think people really read my reactions wrong. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I think and I don't know why. I think a lot of people read my reactions so wrong. Like, I feel like I put a block, which I also think is a good thing. But like in these situations, like I think they read it wrong. She said your words are saying one thing, but like your body is saying another. Because she's like I said, she was picking up on body language too. I make faces and I move my body in ways that are not lined up with what I'm thinking and stuff. And I think I do it semi-intentionally, actually. Well, yeah, she was like, anyways, does this make sense? And I'm like, that's when I said, well, if this is like myself, not other people, what would happen here? And that's when she was like, not past, present, future, blah, 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 blah. But she explained it more and it made sense. And basically, what I was getting from it is self-doubt, beating myself up about this, but that's not what I need to focus on. And like some other like internal stuff on like things I want to teach or like write about or this podcast, for example. There was like a few things that I want to do. And I just thought that was interesting. It was very silly because before my reading, when it was Sarah's reading and she found out about the dreams, I feel like, guys, this is the signs from the universe. The universe was speaking through that woman with her just meeting me. And I was like, I want to find a teacher. I need and I want a like psychic teacher. Like, how do I learn to do what you're doing? Like, I don't want to do tarot cards, but I want to do like dream interpretation and like healing and stuff. She said circles, like she gave me some options. She was like, or you could like learn from the specific place that I know. They have like a dream interpreter. I don't know if they're still there, but you should check it. And she was like, in Udemy. I was like, Udemy. I was like, that's crazy. Because I was looking at that a week ago and I kind of just threw it to the side. It's crazy that that came out of that woman's mouth, her just meeting me right there and saying that same thing that I was looking at. And I took that as a sign and I was like, okay, that's going to be the first thing I look at. So, regardless, this lady picked up on something. Was it the same as the phone reading? No, but it was also a different type of reading. Do you agree, Sarah?
I do.
And I also tied this because in the car ride back, David was like, I'm going to talk about the reading, guys. I want to know what you guys think. Anyways, Sarah's about the curses. I think what I told Sarah was, I think because we were at that type of fair, you would assume like a lot of people are spiritual or like they believe in like this like woo-woo stuff, right? And your lingo would change. The dialogue that I use to my family is going to be different than I talk to Sarah because especially about these things because it's just why would I be talking about that? Like it just wouldn't make no sense. Like especially like slang that we use. Like you're not gonna just say your slang to everybody. Like not everybody's gonna get it. So I think she chose curses because your words, like I've said before, have meaning and they're spells. Your words are spells, like spelling. So like Sarah being like, okay, cool. Like you do you. Like I don't care. Like it's probably gonna mess up. Or like saying like, okay, well, I'm not gonna help. Like that could be in theory like a curse. It's
Yeah.
not like you're intentionally trying to curse them in what most people would think is a curse, but it's not, I would say, in like the lightest hearted way. Like you're just saying, okay, cool. I that's not for me. Like it's
Yeah.
you know? And I
I
think
and another way to sort of say it that I think Angelina is dancing around is I am clearly a pessimist. I'm clearly a negative person, and like obviously it's a defense mechanism. And I think
hey,
what
don't
I'm trying to say, I'm not putting words in your mouth. I am just saying you're casually dancing around the subject of what negativity you put into the world will manifest itself
I'm not
negative outcomes.
I have not thought you're a negative person, at least to me, at least in like our relationship. You've been like fun and silly and like
I'm
I
not, it's less negative and more just like I'm a realist.
I don't know. I just think it's silly. Like I'm like, Sarah, like listen to this. Like what? I have not thought that. But
That's reassuring. Thank you.
but cue the But
Aww.
yeah, if Sarah wants to say that pessimist, like okay, whatever. She's not. But I'm just saying like your words have meaning and like she said she said you could curse somebody if you want, by the way, Sarah. So even like her lingo changed. She didn't say like you could be a pessimist if you want. Like she said like you can just be like nah, like that's not for me. Like fuck off sometimes. I don't know. I saw her connection to that. I think it was because also I was sitting there being little Miss Dream interpreter. She was like, one of them is gonna get it. I literally think that was it, especially like where she connected your cards. It just made sense.
Yeah, once you connected everything, I felt like individually I was like, oh, okay, like give or take. And then all together, I was like, okay, I guess this makes more sense. And then once Angelina did her magic and did her interpreting. I'm like, okay, like yeah, I get it.
And not David just sitting on the ground and being like, yeah, that sounds like you. Like that just
No, David was like reading me.
yeah, like the fact that David's down there just chilling on the
Just
ground.
like making side comments, being like, yeah. I'm like,
It's like, okay,
hello?
David. He's like looking at me right now, Sarah. He looks back. He heard his name. Nothing. We're talking about the fair.
David, what was your take on the tarot cards cameo?
Well, I'm more skeptical when
She
it
is
comes to stuff
too.
like that.
Hmm?
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
So do you believe in like spiritual things like that, like magical kind of?
I'm skeptical about it. I think that it could, but I also am like, not enough proof.
Yeah, that's where I'm at pretty much. So when I hear the tarot stuff, to me it kind of sounds like generic problems that anyone can face.
Hmm.
But it almost seems like a cheaper form of therapy.
That's what I was saying.
Because it's like they make you think about things that you don't typically presently think about, you know what I mean? So you push a lot of this stress into your subconscious and then they make you talk about it with them.
What about your reading with Peaches? You don't think that was?
Oh, I thought it was just I don't know. I told you those.
But what
I
about
thought it
the
was
like
really like
and your brother offering that thing
thought it
too?
was
You don't
really
think that's
generic.
connected?
Huh?
Sarah actually believes in Peaches though.
Yeah, Peaches kind of freaks me the
I
heck
don't
out.
know because anything could be a business offer. I don't know. It's like
She got a desk job, and Peaches also said she was on her feet a lot. Peaches also said her mom was like
yeah,
going through a lot of
but
stuff.
you're asking for me.
I
I
know.
wasn't there. I don't know that. I'm saying for me, it just seemed kind of like, okay, well, I guess what you're saying could be true, but I won't even know that till like years later. So
Hmm.
she just said I would get like a business opportunity or something like that, and I was like, oh, okay. And
She said way down the road 2 years or something.
yeah, I wasn't mind blown or anything. I was just it just made me think a little more.
Yeah. I mean, that's sort of what I was saying too, is I just say that like it's a great mindfulness activity no matter what, if you believe or not. Um, and it is therapeutic. So I feel like we have a very similar point of view on it.
Listeners,
Yeah.
like before you say anything, David, listeners, you see what I have to deal with?
No, me
All
and
of these
Angela
guys.
are very like opposite on their view.
Yeah. But
But
I
we balance you out.
I do think that like a lot of people actually have talked about this. This has been coming up a lot. Oh, a friend I've just made recently, love her by the way. Um, she is a doll. Uh, I hope she comes on eventually. If you're listening to this, Christine, I want you to come on, please. But anyways, she was just like, that's interesting. Like because I said that David was skeptical or like skeptical. Is that it? For some reason the words feel weird. But I was like, yeah, he's a skeptic. I'm not, complete opposite. She was like, that's interesting. And some other people have recently said that they're like, how does that work? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, we're complete opposites, but it works. Like that's why it works. Because I
Yeah.
feel like if not, I'm like a balloon flying up to the atmosphere. And
David's a rock.
yeah, and like I'm still flying, but like he's like a pebble. Like he's like a little pebble.
On
And
a boulder is
and
a
it's like
rock.
keeping me not to like bump the atmosphere where I pop, but it's just enough that I'm in the air, airing, like I'm air. And I think of you, it's just like it's like even though you're both skeptics, it's like I don't know, like how are we having this talk right now? Like it's just interesting. Like how did you agree to even go to these things with me? Or like why did you even say that? Like I don't know. Crazy stuff. I just think it's very silly when people think if you're different in that sense, like you can't get along. Skeptics and like non-skeptics could get so much along, like especially different religions.
I think the biggest thing is just being open-minded
Yeah.
and willing to hear other people's take and side, and just in general, like in all aspects. And it's how you can be friends and have important conversations and hear what people are saying and their point of view, people are so quick now to be like, oh, well, it's my idea and this is right and no other opinion is right.
Cancel you, you're wrong.
Unfollowed, canceled,
Like, I'm so sorry. I think we can have different views on politics, on religion, on all of these things. The thing is, are you making that your personality? Okay, then that might be the little issue. We can learn from each other. We could see why we think that. And you know what? We might find similarities along the way because we're all human. I just think like that's what I want to do with this channel too, is this is how we can deal with it, like talking about these things and exploring these things. I don't know. Look at how much we've got to talk about. There is something else I wanted to say about the psychics. One, we will probably go to another one in the future, like I said. I can't wait to see who we're going to go to in the future.
what if we find someone to come on the podcast and do a reading?
That would actually be incredibly crazy. How would we even go about that?
They would have to be like okay with the situation.
Yeah.
So if anybody listening is a psychic and wants to test it out, hit us up.
That would be actually crazy and so cool. Like, you're just throwing me out there.
You know,
While we're on this topic, though, and I want to say this with you, hello, whoever is listening, I said it earlier very lightly, actually, and 100%, I want a teacher. Who can help me find a teacher to develop my psychic abilities? I want a teacher, and I want to find someone that knows someone, or if you have any tips or ideas, whoever's listening,
psychics in your area.
if you know somebody, please either reach out to me or send them my way or something. Give me some advice. I don't know.
Send your energy in our direction.
Don't just send your energy in my direction.
Well, if they're good enough, you'll feel it.
But okay, so is there anything else that I did not glance over, Miss Sarah?
I don't think so. Thanks for having me, like always. I love to be on this podcast with you and support your passions.
I love you and thank
Happy
you.
to be
And I
back.
know because you keep throwing my name everywhere.
Of course.
Which thank you and please keep doing. And listeners, feel free to throw my name in good places.
I'm such an advocate for you. I am your fan.
I am your fan.
Oh my God, stop.
So yeah, I will be ending this little recording real quick. Thank you, Sarah. Do you have any last words?
Shouts out, Angelina. We love you. Mwah.
Hello, here we are at the Oracle card reading of the episode. So you guys know the drill. I am going to shuffle these cards and pull the card for the week. So let's see what the card says for this week. Okay, and for this week, the card is Karmic Relationships. And it says Orion Energy, Polarity, Soul Growth, Conflict. And the book says, the constellation Orion is thought by many to have been a place of great polarity and eventual unity. Some believe that many starseeds who were part of this cosmic history are incarnate on Earth now and are playing out karmic relationships from Orion times. Perhaps you're one of them. Polarity causes conflict and highlights separation. However, because of this, conflict can also result in unity and growth. Too many misunderstandings are caused when we don't open our heart and mind and see things from a different point of view. When we go into reactive second-guessing mode instead of gathering the courage to open our heart, we should admit that we may have reacted because of our own woundings, and then find mutual ground. We're all innocent children looking to be seen, understood, and cherished. It's much harder to grow closer through conflict than it is to grow further apart. And yet, that's the invitation of conflict. It's easy to react and take things personally. It's more challenging to see the innocence of all involved and find a way to grow closer through the conflict. It's through relationships that we grow the most. How can you soften your heart and drop your defenses enough to see things from a different point of view? How can you see the innocence of all involved? How can you learn to see the similarities rather than the differences? And I also pulled a second card, and the second card says Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. And then the book says, the ancients knew much more than we do about our connection with the stars. Their pyramids, temples, and other places of worship, created in precise alignment with the stars, exist in all corners of the world. What if this ancient wisdom is available for you to uncover now? You're being called to think and listen with your ancient heart and soul, to tap into the part of you that remembers and knows. All ancient secrets are whispered forever in your ears. All mystic knowing blooms in your heart. All potent power pumps through your veins. You're being invited to step into your ancient knowingness, to be held by the rememberings of the star ancestors, to look a little deeper. If you're feeling stuck, you're being called to do something different, to change your point of view. Creativity happens when we put together two things that don't belong, when we do the unexpected. So often, a creative solution is right in front of us, but because we think the same thoughts and act the same way, we miss what's in the open. You're here to remember and uncover ancient secrets and transmissions, technology and wisdom that are so needed on the planet right now, to unlock your soul's memories of a time when we lived in harmony on Earth, and one day will again. Okay, wow. So from these cards, they both had the different perspective message coming through, which when I look at these cards intuitively, I'm getting messages, like messages exploring our ways of being, exploring our truths, and communicating them. Life is an adventure. Life is meant to be explored. It's the journey. It's just like Journey Through the Dreamscape. It's the journey of life. It's journeying through all of the dreamscapes, journeying through our waking state, journeying through the universe, and also inside of us, internally, our inner wisdom. And realizing like our thoughts have so much power, they have so much control over how we're going to view the world, how we're going to view like a circumstance, like perspective is so important. And broadening that perspective, but also talking about it and sharing it. So I really feel like this is a time, like an invitation to share your truth, share your thoughts, be yourself, stand your ground, open your heart to new ways of thinking, even if those new ways of thinking don't really align with you, like still hear them out and take them for what they are, you know? Because you might realize along the way that, hey, I don't agree with this, but there's something there that is still so bright, still, and made me think this new thing. Yeah. So basically, I think that is the message for the week. Listen to these unique views, listen to these other sides of the coin. And also, my question for the week is, where do you get a lot of your information from? Is it from books, from movies? Is it from friends, family? Is it the news? Where is your information coming from? Is it inner wisdom? And how much of that source are you taking in? Like, is there another place you can maybe go look for new ideas, new information, new things? Why haven't you? Think about that. Yeah, that's the question of the week. And yes, here's another episode done. So I can't wait for the next episode, the next few episodes, the future. I can't wait to see what happens, what comes. I'm so thankful for everybody who's listening, who will listen, who has listened. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And I hope that you consider coming on the podcast or sharing your thoughts, asking some questions. I hope that this has helped you just a little bit more. I thank you so much. And please reach out if you have anything you need to say. I am here. I'm open. This space is a space for you. So thank you. Here's to another episode. And I can't wait to talk to you guys next week. If you found this episode or my previous ones insightful, chances are someone else you know will think so too. It'd be incredibly helpful and lovely if you shared this with them so that they can find something that possibly resonates with them too. To hear more, please subscribe to my channel. To stay updated in between episodes or to contact me for episode ideas and feedback, please go to my website, angelinayoung.com, or follow my Instagram, which will be down below. I'm always excited and open to hearing how and what you've dreamed of. So please do not hesitate to reach out. Thank you, my beautiful dreamers. This was Angelina Young on Journey Through the Dreamscape. Tune in next week. Until then, see ya.